Your child, please tell me. So what did you think? What did you think of the meeting with President Macron?
I thought he was remarkably attentive and thoughtful in a way that you wouldn't normally expect a head of state. And what was really remarkable was the extent to which you had someone sitting and listening and adjusting his position and responding, and sometimes remembering 10 or 15 minutes later and referring to what someone had already said.
Right.
I'm sufficiently cynical that my normal expectation for a meeting with a head of state is that will be a prop. That essentially it will be a performance for some political purpose. Right. So I remain somewhat cynical, because there's the real question of what is the translation from the moment to the future. But it was a remarkable sense that you were actually having a conversation with somebody who actually has power to influence political relations. So we'll see what actually comes of it.
What about ideas? What did you take out of it? I mean, were there any interesting ideas for you that came out of it?
I liked his insistence.
We walk in? We can walk in here. No, come on in. You like his insistence? I
like his insistence on
we can sit together. Yay. We're walking in. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna flip this around. Go ahead. So I'm asking, you liked his insistence?
I like his insistence on is there someone else missing?
Oh yeah.
I like his reticence about regulation, and the fact that I thought the relative humility about the role of the state it was important. I was somewhat concerned about the willingness to shift to a more assertive role with regard to platforms. But then I think in the conversation, he acknowledged he sounded open to the possibility that the particular role of the state would be focused on transparency and requiring transparency, which I thought was, again, part of the willingness to be flexible. And then, of course, whenever you actually meet a head of state who's willing to talk about the role of postmodernism and neo-relativism in the epistemic crisis of democracy, it's a delight as an academic.
Right.
So that was interesting and fun.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
That is to say that the idea of journalism and the quality of information, or value-based information, was a common good that we had to protect. And when he was talking about we, he was saying the state and the political community has to recognize this. I thought was actually quite good, and I think it reveals to me a common sort of problem, which is that the day-to-day realities of dealing with the inadequacies of the press and the media in the political community creates an insensitivity to the general value of what journalism is and what it's contributing to the whole sort of area of debate and so on.
He was really frustrated at the beginning. That was how it started, right?
You know, but that seemed to me to be not surprising at all. I think if you get the head of any democratic country, even the ones we really like, and there aren't many of those, put them in a room and ask them what they feel about the media, the first thing they're not going to say is how we need to reinforce in the public imagination the idea that what journalism is a really important public good in the interest of democracy. They're not going to say that. They're going to recount their last most difficult story and how it was treated. And one of the difficulties about it is in recent years, because of the continuing erosion of capacity within journalism and the media, that frustration has grown, and it grows all the time. And in a way it's inevitable, because journalism's weakened, and because it's weakened, it's inevitably we're going to have more of that. So I found it useful. Like you, I think in the end you can never make the mistake of overreaching yourself in terms of optimism about how politicians will react. But I think there was a degree of openness about him, which, and I'm a tired old cynic in these areas, which I must say I found refreshing. That's quite good. So, because his honeymoon period is long over, here in France, and so I can imagine.
Yeah, he's embattled.
You know, he's beleaguered and he's getting quite a lot of stick from all quarters. So I found him very open, despite all that, and that was good. I thought that was really refreshing.
What did you think?
He was amazing. He was very comfortable in his skin. He could seep into any discussion, so it seems to me he's intellectually savvy. He didn't shy away from what they have said, shy away from not being open to things like erosion. He spoke openly about countries that he felt uncomfortable about.
Yeah.
He addressed the Turkish issue, I think, in a very candid and truthful way.
And obviously bothered about Russia.
I didn't want to mention countries.
Sorry.
But what he could use, and when he was speaking about Pakistan, he was like, you know, there is, I don't know this person. When I get to know him, I will be able to say something. I thought all these things show his character rather than what we came for, which is, in addition, actually, the information and democracy of the Reporters Without Borders. For me, it captures the essence of the person called Emmanuel Macron, and France is lucky to have him.
Thank you.